Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I'm filming this in the car, but this is probably the only way I can find time to actually film this video. So someone sent a message or made a comment actually on one of my videos asking if they can go into clinical research without any experience, like with zero experience. And I did mention to them how they can go about it, but I also promised to make a video because this is something that keeps coming, like a question that keeps coming back to me every time. Like, people keep asking, how can they get into research nursing with zero experience? Obviously, I have shared my own story of how I got into research nursing with absolutely no experience in clinical research. And so yeah, this will bring me to the topic of this video, and that will be transferable skills that can land you a clinical research nursing job. So I think today I will just focus on like 5 skills, but obviously there are many skills that as a nurse you already have and that you could just build on to get a clinical research nurse job. Number 1 on the list is time management skill, and this is because it's very essential as a research nurse to know how to manage your time. Like, I feel like this is the major skill that you need. We do a lot of things within an assigned or allocated time, so you have like a time span for everything you're doing, really, especially because everything kind of like has time points in trials, so you have to be very big on time management. But the good thing is, as a nurse, you already have the skill, and this is something I try to tell people when they reach out to me saying, but I have no clinical research skill, or I have no experience in clinical research nursing. The first thing I tell them is, you already have what it takes, so please calm down. You have what it takes already, so you're not at a place of a disadvantage. Like, you're already empowered, you've got what it takes already. But knowing that you've got those skills and building on those skills is what is needed actually. So build on your time management skills. It is very, very essential. The other one, which is kind of tied to time management, is organizational skills. That is very, very key. As a research nurse, if your thoughts, your way of doing things are not like organized, you will be a mess. Trust me. There are times that you are flipping through different things within an hour. So in 1 hour, you're attending to a patient, you're organizing their transportation, you're attending to an adverse event, you're preparing clinic for the next day, you're answering queries, like all in the same hour. So you could have like 5 or 6 things to do, or even more, in 1 hour. So that brings me to you knowing how to prioritize your tasks, because you do have a lot of tasks to do. And like when I started as well, I had that issue of not knowing what to do first. Not like I didn't know, but it took me some weeks to actually to get myself in order, knowing that this comes first before this. So for instance, a patient that rings to say, oh, I've got very high temperature, I've been vomiting, I've got diarrhea, that would definitely come before organizing patient transportation to clinic. That would come before attend. So a patient calls and says, oh, could you please verify my clinic appointment for next week? So when you compare those two, definitely the patient that has got symptoms and they need to be hospitalized, that would come before a patient that has just called to also ask for something, but in their case they want to know their appointment for next week, for instance. So it's about knowing which should come first, more like triaging. So you should know how to triage your tasks, more like prioritization. And this is something I know nurses already do. So you do this already, you work on it, what you already prioritize. For instance, that say antibiotics, like administering antibiotics should be done in a timely way, and that will come before, I don't know, something else. So you know already, you work in the ER, you already, we call it A and E here. So the A and E, you already tried patients. So wherever you work, I want to believe you know how to organize your work already, and you have to be very skilled in terms of time management as a nurse. So I believe you already have that skill already. For instance, I came for theaters, we have an operation list, and we have an allocated time for every operation, for every surgery. So like anticipated surgery duration, like the duration of the operation, like an anticipated time, we have that. So we could obviously like the surgery could go beyond that time, but you have like something you're working with. So time management skill, organizational skill is very, very key. You should know how to prioritize. You should know how to pretty much plan your tasks for the day and triaging your tasks as well. The next thing is patient care. Again, as a nurse, you already have the skill. So I'm not here to teach you. You already know. You already have the skill. Patient care. And with patient care comes a lot of things. Obviously like a lot of things. Under patient care, you have I'm just paraphrasing now. Actually, the skills under patient care that is applicable, in research, like informed consent. You probably know that already as a nurse. Communication skills, like how you communicate with your patients. That is very, very essential as well. So communication, informed consent, patient interactions as well. You interact with your patient every day. Like every day you're interacting with your patient. You're caring for your patient. You're administering interventions for your patients. So it is not different in research. The concept is not different. That's my point. The task may be different, but the concept itself is not different. You're still doing the same thing. You're caring for the patient. You're giving interventions to help them get better. And under this, I would emphasize more on communication. So as a nurse, if you're not well equipped in terms of communication, I would say please go and work on your communication skills. And that's because in research, clinical research, there's no way out for you if you've not built that skills. That skill is something you need every damn day. Like you need it every day. And yeah, so you need to work on your communication skill. How you talk to patients, how you talk to colleagues, how you talk to trial sponsors as well. How to send emails. Again, now there are several videos you can watch on YouTube on how to send formal emails, how to know how to talk to people in a formal setting. So there are definitely videos on YouTube you could watch regarding that. So the next skill is teamwork, and you cannot survive as a clinical research nurse without this skill. You need your team. So as much as this is an autonomous role, you should be able to work on your own. But fortunately, not unfortunately, you still need to work with your colleagues. You need to work with your team. You could make decisions on your own, but 90% of the time, you still need to run those decisions by your colleagues, by members of your team, your line manager, your colleagues, really. So teamwork is very essential. There are also times that, as much as we have our portfolio of trials, we help each other as well. Like, because say for instance, I'm on annual leave this week, so who handles my portfolio? It has to be another member of my team. So teamwork is very essential, keeping them in the loop as well, as regards my trials, like my portfolio. So you cannot do without teamwork if you want to be a good clinical research nurse. Again, I believe this is something you're already doing where you're working currently as a nurse. You work with your team members, your colleagues. So you're already doing that. So you have the skill, and that's the point of this video. You already have the skills required for this job. The next skill I will talk about is documentation, and this is because we do a lot of this in clinical research. Like we do lots and lots of documentation. So you need to be very keen on this. We answer a lot of queries. Your data needs to be accurate. It needs to be almost perfect, really, because that's the whole essence of research. Like clinical research is based on data, on correct and accurate data. So, which would translate to obviously advancements in your in medicine, and all of that. So you need your data to be accurate and almost perfect, really. We could make mistakes, but you can always correct those mistakes, spot them early and correct them. So yeah, you have to be very big on accurate documentation now. And I think the last thing I will talk about, I have to run to work now. The last skill I will talk about is attention to detail, and this is something I have found really helpful. And I also feel like on the job I've also sharpened this skill a lot now that I've worked for a research nurse for a couple of years now. This is my second year actually. So I have sharpened that skill, because you need to be very observant, you need to pay attention, and you need to pay attention to detail. That's something that would save you a lot of times, especially when patients are involved, when patient safety is involved. You need to be very attentive. The last one, I know I said 5, but I think I need to add one. You need to be very innovative, and you should be able to bring initiative. There are times that we have lots of patient queries, and fine, we have a protocol when it comes to research nursing. There's a protocol you follow, but there are times that there is a query that does not require, you don't need a protocol you don't need a protocol to answer that query. There are times that you need, that's why a lot of times you need to consult your team members as well. You just need you need common sense to answer some of the queries, and there are times that you need to discuss with your colleagues and come up with an answer to the query. So that's why you also need initiative as well as a skill. You need to be able to that's also another skill. Adaptation, flexibility is also very key as a research nurse. Like, things change a lot. Like I said, we have a protocol and things must follow protocol, but there are times that you just have to be very flexible, because things change a lot, and you could have planned the patient for treatment today and something would just come up. They will be unwell, they would have to travel, like things come up, and you have to cancel a lot of things, like cancel treatment, cancel bed, cancel a lot of things. And there are times that in a twinkle of an eye, you're actually ordering bed, your patient will be admitted, so things actually change drastically, in a twinkle of an eye. So adaptability, flexibility is also very key, alongside initiative. So I really hope this video helps you to figure out what skills will be needed to transfer to research nursing. Especially, I realized a lot of people are very keen on becoming research nurses, because I've got a lot of messages, and a lot of people, I think like 3 or 4 people now have contacted me in the past when they were about going for interviews. I do not have time, I'm sorry, but when I get the time, I do give them ideas, but that's when I do have the time. I'm quite busy. But again, any questions, just drop them in the comment section. I need to run to work now. I just have to make this video right now, so I do not forget to create content again. So if you have more questions, do let me know. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and of course subscribe to this channel, and I would see you in another video. Bye.